What's going on, the Winners Win podcast? It's your boy Loso 2.0, the copycat himself. And today we're going to talk about 3 steps to creating a breakthrough. Now, we're also going to talk about what a breakthrough is. And before we even get started on that, we got to do some housekeeping things. Please click that subscribe button below and subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it, comment below, whatever you got to do. And if you listen to this on any type of podcast platform, please give me 5-star reviews and leave a review below, because I love to see what you guys have to say and how I can continue to better myself and give you more of the content that you need and or want. Before we even get started with that, I like to do these little, let's say, get-togethers, I guess, about what's going on so far. Now, first of all, I am exhausted right now. It is almost midnight, but I made a vow to myself really after Christmas. I didn't even wait for New Year's. This is basically my New Year's resolution, was just to get everything done. Don't go to sleep when you're done, not sleep when you're tired. So with that being said, I just got to record 2 of these episodes. I got 50 more push-ups to do, 50 more reps of core, 15 or 16 more pages from this personal development book, and I am done for today. So that's all going to be done today before 12:30, and I'm going to be in the bed, ready to go to sleep and ready to start my day again and just be on the grind. I don't know what hit me, but I just feel like I just had to turn it up another notch. I think it was the biggest thing with me was I've been listening to, so I started spending my downtime or like my car time, not listening to music, but really listening to interviews from innovative entrepreneurs, and like Tony Robbins, such as the one that I read or listened to today. And just listening to it, I'm just like, wow, he really did a lot. He really put that pain in, put that work in just to be a winner. And he's read 700 books in 10 years. Now, I was doing the math, and I could redo it again, but 700 books in 10 years divided by 10 is 70 books a year, divided by 12 is 5 or 6 books a month. So I said, no, I'm going to beat that. I'm going to do 100 books a year. So I'm going to do 1,000 books by 10 years. And with all that knowledge and me applying all that knowledge and me giving all that good work to you guys, is only going to help me become that much more greater of a speaker and be able to give you guys that much more value. So now I've split my book up, and specifically it's like, all right, how can I read this book? I read 2 books at a time, and how can I read this many pages in this amount of time? So today I see my personal development book. In order for me to be done by Friday, Saturday at the latest, I have to read 90 pages a day. And for my skills book, which is my public speaking book, I have to read at least 10 a day. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to my novel, because it helps with my storytelling as far as it comes to writing copy. And then probably another personal development or skill book. But that's the key that I was trying to talk about, though, is the idea that I said, like, you really have to put that, but I had to turn everything up a notch and literally keeping myself immersed in learning all day. Like, when I say all day, I literally mean all day. I mean, from when I woke up, first thing I did in the morning, motivational video immediately, play some chess, work on some Duolingo, which I'm going to start adding some more stuff to my routine as far as learning Spanish. Then boom, read my goals to myself, go to the gym, get a great workout with my brother and my friend. Then after getting that amazing workout in, came back home, knocked out some push-ups. Then I watched TV for a tiny bit of time. Didn't even get on social media today. Got up and just went straight to work. While I'm at work, while I'm driving to work, listening to that podcast, listening to interviews and stuff like that from some of the top motivational speakers, Jordan Peterson, Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, stuff like that. I get there, while I'm waiting outside, I'm reading my book, taking notes, doing some more outreach for schools, outreach for podcasts. I got 2 podcasts I'm getting interviewed on just this week, and I got a networking event in a couple of days. So it was just constant grind. Every single second was not wasted. Even when I was at work, it was so busy, I didn't really get the time to kind of like sit back and then I didn't get the time to do all that stuff. So what I did was just go to work. Then when I got done there, you know what? I read Tony Robbins say, after you do that first shift, you got to clock in for another 8-hour shift. So that's what I did. I clocked in I got that stuff, ate some dinner, went and clocked and made sure my wife was okay, and boom, clocked in my next shift. So that's how much you got to be getting the grind. But let's talk about the 3 steps into creating a breakthrough, right? So the 3 steps are changing your strategy, changing your story, and changing your state. Now, I'm going to go into detail with all those things, especially throughout the course of the full YouTube episode or podcast episode. But first, we got to talk about what a breakthrough is. Now, breakthrough is a moment when the impossible becomes possible. A moment when you thought something couldn't be done. You ever feel lightheaded like that? I mean, I give you a perfect example. I think a breakthrough moment for me was when I finally made the freshman or the school basketball team. When I made the basketball team, I was sitting there and it just felt so surreal. I was actually lightheaded. That's really when you get those moments you're lightheaded. Then when I was on varsity, lightheaded again, I was like, wow, I'm really on varsity. Play college basketball, lightheaded. All these times it's just, wow, I'm light because it just seems so surreal. When I drop, when I average 15 in these elites, it's like lightheaded. It's like, wow, I put in this work. I put in this pain. But, it just seemed so surreal before to me. And now it's actually becoming a real thing. Getting married, that felt surreal. It almost felt like, wow, is this marriage even, it didn't even feel real. I felt like I just went to sleep, woke up, and it was a dream. Now I'm moving into my own place, place with my wife. Now when I'm a millionaire, getting promoted to a career, that felt surreal too. Now it's like, now when I become a millionaire, when I'm helping millions of people, when I'm out on that stage speaking, the things that I dreamed about, it's going to just come to fruition. It's coming faster than anything. And it all came from me just putting in the work, like constantly not cheating the grind. And now, before I was trying to do little by little by little, but now it's like I'm on full throttle, like get every single thing done before the day is up. The day is almost up in 15 minutes, but I'm still going to knock out this episode, another episode. I'm just locked in. So all these things felt impossible at first, but then they were made possible. And that's a breakthrough. And that's where that moment where I was saying you was feeling like when you feel lightheaded. Now, to have a strong strategy, the simple formula is to go to the best. So the quickest way to get yourself out of having the learning curve first, and not to be so, I guess, wide turned in a way, is to actually go out there and find out who is the best. And then whoever the best is, you learn from them. You learn from their mistakes. You learn from all the things that they didn't do right. You learn from all that, and then you try to apply it to your own self, business, life, whatever you got going on, right? Because, always stated before, Tony Robbins said this, I think I talked about this plenty of times, is success is 80% the mindset. That's why this podcast is so important. It's about getting your mindset right. And I share the skills too, because 20% is about mechanics, but 80% really is the mindset. So you have to get your mindset right first, then you get the mechanics. But the mindset is 80% of the battle. And then when you keep learning, you keep building your mindset, that's why I say I keep reading these books. Reading 8 books a month is crazy, right? Would seem crazy. 2 books a week, but what it's doing is making me more valuable, and I can share that value, which is going to make me more money because I'm able to do that for anybody else. Now, the second thing, like we said, was to change your story. Story is a matter of stop trying. It's whatever you telling yourself. Whatever you're telling yourself is possible is possible. That's why it's so important to write stuff down. That's why it's so important to speak things into existence. All these things play a major role in making you become the person that you are today. So literally take the time to actually tell the story, to actually speak these different things into existence, because the tongue is one of the most powerful weapons on your body. That's why it's used to persuade. It's used to manipulate. It's a weapon, right? With great power becomes great responsibility. When you learn this knowledge, you have to be careful what you put out there. I get a lot of haters on Instagram and stuff about some of the times when I talk about the Bible breakdowns, and they just, you need to be careful what you put out there. Well, how can you be upset about my opinion, but also 2 things that I've learned myself? But that's another topic for another day. Now, the next thing is to change your state. Now, the quickest way to change your state is to change your body first. If you change your body, then your mind. I was listening to the podcast, and he was talking about how if you stand in a Superman or Wonder Woman position for 2 minutes, there's actually an increase in your testosterone levels in your body. So physically change your body and find ways to make yourself more confident, like body language wise, broad shoulders up, smiling, things like that. And then your mind will naturally start to change, literally on a chemical level as far as hormones go. So these are the 3 steps into creating your breakthrough. If you have any other steps that you think you might have or whatever, or may want to add to, please comment below any questions or whatever. I want you guys to keep killing the day. And remember, you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.